Hello, everyone. Instead of doing a written post this week, I thought I'd try out something different. One of the questions I got over the summer was, what books do you recommend or what resources do you pull from? And that got me thinking about some of the books that I've read over the years. And I was remembering this time that really kind of started me off on my writing journey into writing parenthood. At the time, I had an office in the corner of a hallway to the exit of our house. And I had a toddler, and I was just trying to figure out what it meant to write about parenting. As someone with a toddler, I didn't think I'd have a whole lot to say about parenting, and I'm still not sure that I have a ton to say about it, even though my oldest just turned 10. However, one of the books that I was reading at the time is called Nurture the Wow, right here. It's by Rabbi Danya Rutenberg. And she was one of the first writers that I'd ever read write something about parenthood. And so I've been writing about parenthood ever since then because it's rather an untouched subject, I think, by a lot of people. It's something that's beginning to gain mainstream. There's a book called The New Fatherhood that just came out. It's pretty good if you're looking for something a little bit more contemporary and a little bit more secular. But Rabbi Rutenberg here walks through what it looks like to hold on to your faith when you're used to some of the more specific traditions that just aren't quite possible when you have kids. Kids change up the Christmas service because you're dealing with a toddler now. They change up the Easter egg hunt. They change up so much of our lives, and perhaps one of the greatest disruptions is to our spiritual lives. And so Rabbi Rutenberg here writes about her journey through that, and she writes about how this is a parenthood book. I'm going to read just a short little something for you here that kind of propelled her through it. And she says, for example, the Babylonian Talmud is the Jewish tradition's greatest compendium of rabbinic culture. It contains legal debates, legends, wise words, deep theology, and stories from and jokes about the lives of ancient rabbis. It's a huge work. If you study one double-sided page every day, you'll get through the whole thing in 7 years. But you know what isn't in there? There's no Masachet Yeladim, no tractate dedicated to children and the process of raising them. Kids come up, sure, as asides in inheritance law and trying to figure out who is obligated to pay for a wet nurse if she can be afforded, and sorting out some of the logistics of the Passover Seder. But you don't hear the rabbis swapping stories about the funny thing their 7-year-old said the other night, or what to do if a toddler tries to climb up to where the Sabbath lamp is burning, let alone what to call the heart-melting experience of a chubby little arms wrapping themselves around your neck, or how to deal with despair when a kid is suffering in a way that can't be fixed. Children just didn't enter many of the discussions of the Talmudic rabbis, even though most of them were fathers. She'll end up this introductory chapter by saying that this is not a parenting book, but it's a parenthood book. And as a father myself, we've missed out on this huge part of life, this huge interaction of faith and fatherhood. And so that's what I've been writing about now for almost 10 years. But this is one of my cornerstone books. I reread it every couple of years to learn something new, to see something I didn't see before, to remember a quote, to remember why I'm doing this. So if you're looking for a philosophical book on how to be a better dad, especially if you are Jewish or Christian or maybe Muslim, I don't know that many Muslims, so I don't speak for them. But if you're a spiritual person who's struggling with holding on to your spiritual life in the throes of fatherhood, this is a great book for you. It's Nurture the Wow by Rabbi Danya Rutenberg. So it's one of my top recommended go-tos.